money, baby, we don't baby, it ain't ours. Bet it back, I bet I match it like the same style. Chopsticks for beef.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Dallas Cowboys. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Here we go now.
This is Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Coleman now. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They fake the give. Now Mahomes looking downfield for Godwin. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Ross on the return. Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the old average. 68 yards on the punt there. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw from his end zone. Harris drops it off for Coleman. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the gun on 3rd down, Harris. And this is going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. He'll take it at the 42. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Here's Matt Hawk now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Harris throwing on 1st down. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now Harris looking to throw on 2nd down. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the 1st.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Harris on 1st down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Harris now to throw on 2nd down. Right side complete. That's Woods. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To throw is Harris, operating from the gun. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Flushed out right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
A give to Elliott. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Now Mahomes on the bootleg, on the move to his left. And he fires one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Man, we see a lot of quarterbacks try and do this. They get out of the pocket, they get in trouble, and they try and force the ball into their star receiver to make a play, sometimes whether he's open or not. And I think this time, it was definitely an or not.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw on second down. Harris going for the deep ball. And this throw will be intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes out to his left. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mahomes now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time. And it's 3rd down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. They go play fake. Mahomes drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 18 yards there and a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Mahomes to throw. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Now Mahomes under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
It's his target, the tight end, Will Tye. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Throwing on 1st down. Harris. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Jordan Hicks coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Harris from the gun, he'll throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Harris throwing on 3rd and long. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They go play action here on 1st down. Now he'll throw deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now here's Ross. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Harris on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. So 1:56 to play in this first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. A first down carry by Elliott. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a two tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
The give is to Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. J.J. Nelson now to return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Harris now throwing on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Detroit!
To throw is Harris, operating from the gun. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Gun!
On 3rd down, Harris. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Mahomes to throw on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Oh, Patrick Peterson, the shutdown corner, was there on the coverage. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Mahomes going to throw. Goes underneath here to White. And now look at him go. Touchdown, Cowboys. James White as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And nothing but daylight ahead. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And now it's blocked. Butker now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. He finds an opening past the 40 as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Hey, boys, got four down.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Cowboys on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be a second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
On second down, here's Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch. All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mahomes now on first down. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. 23-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Left.
Throwing now is Mahomes. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
Throwing again. Harris. Complete outright to Kurz. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Harris on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off Byron Jones. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Here comes Nelson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. The drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Harris looking to throw on 2nd down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
This is taken around the 12. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, In fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Alex Anzalone in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Black 58, Royal. Black 58.
They'll set up to throw. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Taken in at the 11. Back now in Arlington. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. Here's Harris on 1st and 10. On the screen, this is Coleman. Space to maneuver at the 40. And some room to work. 20. 10, touchdown, L.A. Tevin Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Back to throw. Harris. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Butker now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. Accelerating, and off he goes.
All right, let's give credit where credit is due. How about that return? Great blocking, great vision, all the way down to the 2-yard line. The only person who has to be upset, the guy who didn't get it into the end zone. That far and no reward?
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56.
Harris now throwing on first down. Going deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Monte Nicholson picks it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. Back to throw. letting one go deep for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Elliott. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That good for 19 and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that. I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out. They'll drop the throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He's going to get it running right. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with third down upcoming. This will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now the Rams offense, they worked their way back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack?
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Rams on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Harris. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Detroit!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Ace,
back to Elliott. He's been busy. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long.
Black 58 rail.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Khalil Mack in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them. Likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game. But they gave great effort there and picked up a defense that's had its share of troubles in this one.
Going deep downfield for Ross. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw is Harris. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Rams on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Harris from the gun. He'll throw. Eluding the pressure right. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Noah Spence in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Harris, operating from the gun, escaping the pressure right, and incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for, and it'll bring up third down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
Here's Harris, throwing on 3rd and long, going up top. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jordan Hicks in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
This is Elliott. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. They go to Elliott again. Oh, he's got a little daylight. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll give it to him up the middle. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Right side complete. That's Woods. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And now here's another interception. Monte Nicholson picks it. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them. First play of the drive, a first down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Dallas, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them